drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. Yeah. Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I can change the past with the...
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It's your boy Darian live with another show, Nothing But Raiders podcast, episode 2. Y'all know who it is. It's the boy Darian, of course, of the Spotlight Raiders Talk, and the Tony Khan or the Vince McMahon of the Spotlight Sports Network. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. We're going to have a draft recap. We're going to have a lot of fun on this show. I know everybody and their mama is probably live right now, but it's all good. We're going to talk about the latest news and Raiders news. We're going to talk about a lot of things as far as the players, the undrafted free agents. So make sure you tell a friend, share the live that we are definitely in the building. I am a host, Darian. So let's see who we got in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So today we do have Raider Critique. Raider Critique is in the building. Dominique 5, he's in the building. He said, "What's up, nation?" I said, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?" Father, what's going on, Father? Daniel Jeffers, what is going on? What is going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning into the show, man. We know where the real loyalty people at over here at the Spotlight Raiders Talk, ladies and gentlemen. But we got a lot of news to talk about, man. A lot of news to talk about. Some things came down the pipeline today about Trayvon Mullen. Trayvon Mullen did post on his Instagram stating that he will be getting surgery. Don't know what type of surgery that he is getting, but best wishes and best prayers to Trayvon Mullen. I don't know if it's season-ending injury. I didn't actually look at his Instagram. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull up his Instagram real quick, because that's kind of a hurt piece. It's kind of a hurt piece, and to hear that, it kind of questions why we didn't get a corner in the draft. But we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into all of that. Shout out to Father. Father says that Isaiah Palomalu is going to be a monster with a chip on his shoulder running a 4.3. Wow, that's crazy. That's insane. That's insane. We're going to get more to him, though. Blue, what's going on, my brother? What's going on? I'm sorry. It is too hot. It's too hot in this room to have on a hat. It is just too hot in this room. I got this bright light on, and I just can't have a hat on at this moment. I just can't. Good to see you, Spotlight. What's going on, Nick 209? What's going on, Nick 209? Let me see if I can go to Trayvon Mullen's page on Instagram, because I know he did post something. I don't know what it is, though. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Trayvon Mullen, so please let me know what happened. I know he's supposed to be getting surgery. I don't know what kind of surgery he's supposed to be getting. What's going on, Coach Dante? What is going on? What is going on, my guy? What's up with you? Knock Andrew. What's up? What's up? What's up? So hopefully we can really wish him the best endeavors on that situation, and really hope that Trayvon Mullen can have a speedy recovery. What's good, brother? I'm glad you're back. Raider Godzilla, what's good? Nothing But Raiders podcast, draft edition. Call-in show will be today. I'm just letting that phone charge. I'm letting that phone charge so we can have the people call in and see how they feel about these draft picks and the undrafted free agents for the Las Vegas Raiders that actually came in. So thank y'all so much, man. We really do appreciate all the love and all the support, that's been happening. Thank y'all for tuning in to the NFL draft, man, because on Sunday morning, May 1st, I lost my uncle Sunday morning. and I knew he was going to go soon. And I just decided not to go live. You know what I'm saying? I decided not to go live. You know what I'm saying? So I just tried to keep my mind off of it as much as possible. My uncle passed Sunday morning, and I was supposed to do a reaction Monday today. I mean, not today. I'm supposed to do a reaction Monday yesterday. And I decided not to do a reaction Monday because I just wanted to have a day to myself and spend time with my family and stuff of that nature. I really was there for my dad because, my dad, that was my dad's uncle. It was more like a great uncle to me, but if my dad was just identical to him, like my dad didn't ever have a father figure in his life, you know what I'm saying? So my uncle Edward was that guy. So that's why I haven't been live the last 2 days, because just trying to refocus myself to come back and doing these. I'm not trying to give excuses. I don't know if y'all had me on Instagram. I did post my uncle on my Instagram on the Spotlight Radio Talk a couple of days ago. So, and then my dad was in the hospital today with his bad back. But I was like, I gotta go live. I cannot make no excuses. He's home. He got a muscle relaxer. He gets an MRI later on this week. So, hey, my uncle's not suffering anymore. Simple as that. He's just not suffering anymore. And so we're really going to get it. We're really going to dive in to a lot of these prospects that we did draft in the 2022 NFL draft. So I just wanted to say that before we go any further. And it's a few topics that we really want to talk about. Definitely the player profiles of these players here. So let's just get down to the nitty gritty, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of this thing, man. So shout out to everybody that's saying, Nick, sorry for your loss and everything of that nature. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. But let's get into what the Raiders came here for. And y'all know what it is, man. The NFL draft has officially been done. Shout out to my boy Real Time Raiders for being here. Really do appreciate y'all, man. Really do appreciate Real Time Raiders being here. And I know y'all see my initial reaction to the Dylan Parham draft, right? The Dylan Parham pick. So I was kind of nervous about this pick. I didn't know too much about Dylan Parham. I'm gonna completely be honest with you until I actually did tape on him. So that time I was off to try to clear my mind. I was on YouTube looking at videos and stuff like that. And you know what? Dylan Parham is a dog. He's a dog. I don't think he allowed not one sack. Honestly, I don't think he allowed one sack. So this is how the Raiders draft went, just to remind people. So we did have the 86th pick overall. And we traded back to 90. And I think I know why we traded back to 90. A lot of people think that we traded back because there wasn't no value there at 86. But this is the reason why the Raiders trade back. And this is my personal opinion. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, but this is my personal opinion. I feel like that the Raiders moved back because Nakobe Dean got drafted at 83 by the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Because if you really think about it, if you want to be completely honest, when Nakobe Dean got drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles, look what the Raiders did right after he got drafted. Look what he did. Look exactly what they did. And they went there and they damn sure went after hold up, let me see something real quick. Let me fix this. General. I don't know what is going on with this. Okay, here we go. Cool. This is how I wanted to do it anyway. But that's how I feel when it comes to, Dylan Parham. I'm like, okay, we could have got him at 86, but we traded back to go get him at 90. So the main reason I think these are, and I'm going to say this again for the people that missed it. These are the main reasons why we traded back. We traded back to get more draft picks. That's one. Tennessee Titans wanted to move up to get Malik Willis. So they wanted that 86 spot. True. And I think we would have kept the 86 spot if Nakobe Dean was there. That's just my assessment on it, in my opinion. That's just my total assessment on the whole situation of what the Raiders really wanted to do. You get what I'm saying? What the Raiders really wanted to do. And I think they went out and got their guy at number 90. So let's talk about the 90th overall pick in the NFL draft. The Las Vegas Raiders do select Dylan Parham, guard from Memphis. Now, one thing I can say about this guy, he is 6'3". He's 311 pounds. He ran a 4.93 at the 40 combine with a 26.5 jump, a broad jump of 108, three-cone drill of a 7.78, and a 4.7 second 20-yard shuffle. Pretty interesting to hear, right? So this is a little bit about Dylan Parham. So he was recruited as a blocking tight end back in 2017. He redshirted there in the fall at the University of Memphis. So he did move from tight end to offensive line in the spring of 2018, starting all 14 games at left guard in the fall, and then again in 2019. He was named the Associated Press 2020 All-Bowl team for his work at right tackle, which he started all those games that season as well. So against the Florida Atlantic in the Montgomery Bowl, Parham drew his first team All-American Athletic Conference accolades in 2021, and he played 12 starts at right guard. So you could really get a lot with Dylan Parham. So he's highly experienced guard prospect. I can definitely say that helped the running lanes for the running backs who went to play in the NFL. Probably like a Lynn Bowden Jr. or some other running backs that actually came in for Dylan Parham. So I can say this. He's below the NFL size standards, but for the position, he was very densely and layered in plays in a sound technique, above average body control into and through contact. So his task is oriented blocker who is much better at firing out than playing on the move, and his success will be linked to the rushing scheme that he lands in. So he's definitely going into a rushing scheme that he lands in with Josh McDaniels. So Josh McDaniels like to have a running back by committee, which we'll get into the other draft picks, the two running backs that Josh McDaniels picked on top of all the running backs that we already have on this roster. So with Dylan Parham, at the end of the day, I think he comes into a great rushing scheme of what Josh McDaniels want to do and this offensive line wants to do, but he's below average mirror quickness and overall length is exploitable, but can be coached. You know what I'm saying? It can be coached. His pass protection could cause up and down plays in that area, but Parham can step in as a backup at both guard spots and have a shot to become a starter within his first 3 years in the NFL. So we do have a few strengths and a few weaknesses for Dylan Parham. This is the strengths that we really, actually, let's go to the weaknesses. Let's go to the weaknesses of Dylan Parham. So his weaknesses can be, feels like a small guard from a mass standpoint. He's labor heavy in getting into pull blocking duties, which we've seen in a few of his films. I can't say that. He could struggle preventing NFL 3 techniques from crossing his face. Might need to linger on a secure block on a longer before climbing. Allow pass rushers openings into a frame on a pre-punch. Athleticism. Mirror of athletic interior rusher and needs to slide his feet after the reach squeeze in the A and B gaps. That's his weaknesses when it comes to Dylan Parham. Now, his strengths is a little more than what his weaknesses are. So he's a 4-year starter who can play at either guard spot at the right tackle and at the left tackle. Broad chest and hips, proportional pre-limbs, and he does have big hands. He used balance and choppy, settled steps on his block. He unlocks his hips and pushes the sled. Clear processor who is able to adjust assignments on the go, accurately aware of second level target in the path to get him. He's punch ready hands with a wide base when it comes to a passing situation. Maintain poise in the field as a rusher during a scramble situation, and he recovers and gets his man redirected around the QB that's been beaten. Look out for gaps and helps and help the next man next to him, and he's adequate anchor to counter in a bull rush. That's what we need. Let's just be honest. That's what we need when it comes to a bull rush, because we've seen Brandon Parker many of times. We see Brandon Parker go and get bull rushed and get bullied at these guard positions. Let's just be real. We didn't see much from Illuminor getting punished, but Brandon Parker at that guard position is just not at his best. And I'm just being completely honest. Brandon Parker is not it for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Alex Leatherwood could probably go back and play that guard, but Alex Leatherwood is going to have some competition on his hands. Even though you play 1 year in the NFL, that doesn't mean your spot is guaranteed on this football team. And I'm being completely honest. It's not going to be that type of team where you're going to be guaranteed a spot. No, you're not guaranteed a spot on the Las Vegas Raiders. Not under this Josh McDaniel and Dave Ziegler regime. You're going to have to come in and earn it. And he said that in his press conference. He said it in his press conference that you will have to earn every single thing that you want to be as a Las Vegas Raider. Simple as that. Plain and simple. But Dylan Parham, I give this an A. I give it an A. I know my initial reaction, like, okay, we drafted backwards and we gained the pick, but we don't know how guaranteed that pick was. And if you look how things turned out in the draft for us, that same 169th pick that we got to trade back to get Dylan Parham, we end up trading that 169th pick. So we're going to get into that as well. The Raiders will be fine. I haven't been this excited over the 37 years about the class. So how we drafted backwards? No, we didn't. We drafted backwards because, like I said, we went and traded back at number 90. And we gained the 169th pick in Dylan Parham at 90. So by the time we almost got to that 169th pick, we didn't even use it. We traded that pick because we traded again in the later round. I forgot what round it was that we traded again, but we traded that 169th pick. We did. So the 169th pick that we got, we end up trading. So my question is, was it really an understanding on why we traded the 86 pick where we could have got Dylan Parham at 86? Is a lot of questions that need to be asked. That's just me. It's a lot of questions that needs to be asked. But I still think Dylan Parham is still a great player. It don't have nothing, like Dylan Parham don't have nothing to do with it. It was just the way we traded back in the picks. So other than that, I didn't have no issue with it. Dylan Parham is a guard. We needed an offensive lineman. It doesn't matter if it was tackle, no matter if it was guard, no matter if it was center. We needed an offensive lineman, and that's exactly what we got from the Las Vegas Raiders. And we end up getting Dylan Parham, and the guy's going to be good. He's going to be absolute fine. And I think I would not be surprised if he starts this year. I would not be surprised. Depending on what happened. God forbid when it comes to injuries. You know what I'm saying? God forbid when it comes to injuries. So let's get into the next draft pick, because we definitely going to we're going to keep breaking this down, man. We're going to keep breaking this down. So with the 122nd pick in the NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select. This one was a shocker to me. A huge shocker to me. Zierre White from the University of Georgia. This guy is a stud of a running back. And I said this on the live stream that Zierre White is the future for the Las Vegas Raiders backfield. It's the future. Zierre White is just that type of dog. If you do not watch his film and you don't know who Zierre White is, you need to go look at who the heck Zierre White is. Dead ass. You definitely need to go see who Zierre White is, because the guy is a stud. I was not expecting to get a running back at the 122nd pick, but I take it because he's a dog. He's 6 foot, 214 pounds. He ran a 4.4 in a 40-yard dash, which is faster than any other running back on our team. Zeus is faster than any running back on our roster right at this moment, running a 4.4, 33.5 vertical jump, and his broad jump was 128. Now, one thing that people say, oh, he had 2 ACL injuries, but those 2 ACL injuries came in his first 2 years at Georgia. He has in 2017 and 2018. This guy, matter of fact, no, I don't even think that was in college. I think that was in high school when he tore his ACL in 2017 and 2018. It has not had an injury since 2018. So people bringing up, oh, 2 torn ACLs, stop it. Look at last year's film when they made the run for the national championship. Look at the run they made last year before they won the national championship, and look how good he was. This guy is a dog. He's a dog. He's a bully. He's going to make you know it when he runs through the hole. He's going to make you know it. Pause. He's going to make you know it. Somebody think about Zierre White. He was a top 10 national recruit in the USA Today, Offensive Player of the Year, finalist, Touchdown Club of Columbus, Ohio, National Player of the Year after rushing for 2,086 yards, 34 touchdowns as a senior at Scotland High School in North Carolina. He also finished 6th in the 100 meters in 2016 state track meet because he was a track runner too. Smith tore his ACL late in the senior season of high school, not in college, in high school. However, he tore another ACL in August of 2018, which called him the red shirt that year. So, one thing I can say about him, right? This guy started 10 games in 2020 for the Bulldogs. He led the team with 779 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns on 144 carries, 5.4 yards a carry. Woo! Woo! He also caught 6 passes for 37 yards, which is 6.2 yards per play. Even blocked a punt. In 2021, White led the national championship Georgia Bulldogs with 856 rushing yards, 11 scores on 160 carries, which was 5.4 yards a carry, while catching 9 passes for 75 yards, which was 8.3 yards per catch in 15 games, and he started 12 of them. Mind you, he was playing aside James Cook, which is Dalvin Cook's brother. What? He made plays on special teams throughout his career, returning 6 kickoffs for 137 yards, 22.8 yards each time. Blocking in Arkansas, he blocked the play in Arkansas in 2020 and recovered a block in the end zone against the Razorbacks for a touchdown the following year. So, let's get into the weaknesses and the strengths of Zierre White. He tore his ACL in 2017 and 2018. We all know this. That should not even be a weakness because that was in high school. That shouldn't even be a weakness. Like what? Doc Holliday, we're going to talk about that because we did get 2 offensive linemen in this draft. We got 2 offensive linemen in the draft, but you got to understand why we got 2 running backs. I'm going to tell you once we get there. But we on Zierre White right now. So we all know that he tore his ACL in 2017 and 2018. I don't know why they're burying him for that because he's been healthy since 2018 and had no injury since then. Running style lacks fluidity and rhythm. Not very creative once he's in space. Takes time to find acceleration after making a cut. Very little third down production during his career. And pass protection leaves a lot to be desired. Now, most of that stuff, when it comes to his weakness outside of the torn ACLs, that's coachable. You can fix those things. That's just coaching. And the thing about his weakness when it says very little third down production during his career, look at the running back committee that he had at Georgia. Look at the running back committee that he had. He wasn't an every down back. But the funny thing is, even though that he was a running back committee by Georgia, he still led the team in rushing by running back by committee. I don't care about third down at this point because we got so many other running backs. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened there, but hold up. Yeah, what's going on, Bernard? What's going on, Bernard? But that's what I'm saying to y'all. When it comes to Zierre White, he's a different type of animal. He is a different type of animal. But let's get into his strengths because he has more strengths than he has weaknesses. So his strengths are the weight room warrior has a 5-star physique, permanent team captain in 2021. He loves to play the game and elevate physicality, creates power and elusiveness. He processes movement and cuts back accordingly. He absorbs contact like it's nothing. Lateral cuts come easily for being a power back. Can liberate lesser tackles or uncommitted. Vision to find a pathway to open the field once he hits the second level, drags tacklers with him to fall forward. I love those type of strengths that he has. It reminds me of myself as a fullback. He does not run away from contact, and I love running backs like that. I think it's a solid pick. It is a solid pick for the Las Vegas Raiders, even though that Jonathan Abram and Cleveland Farrell and now Josh Jacobs don't have a 5th-year option. So now you bring in a Zierre White and put a fire under Josh Jacobs' ass. Yeah, this is your year that you have to earn your contract. I love this. I understand the 2 ACL injuries in 2017 and 2018, but he has not been hurt since then. And he has proven why he was taken the way he was taken. Because look at the running back by committee that he had. James Cook is a stud. I think we would have got James Cook if Zierre White came off the board first. Either way, we was going to get a running back in this draft. Either way. We was going to get a running back, even if it was Pierre Strong, Zierre White, James Cook, Hassan Haskins. Either way, we was going to get a running back. Simple as that. And that's what I love about it. Because Zierre White he's, oh my God. I watched him play at Georgia the year, man. And he's a national champion and he's a leader. You can't get mad at that. You cannot get mad at this pick at 122. You just can't. You can't. But let's go to the next pick, and that is Matthew Butler. Actually, I'm wrong. It's Neil Farrell. My God. Neil Farrell. I'm sorry. It's Neil Farrell, not Matthew Butler. Neil Farrell is a stud. I'm sorry. Neil Farrell from LSU, the guy is a stud. The guy is what we needed at the defensive tackle. We're gonna talk about that, Bernard. We're gonna talk about that, bro. We definitely are. Because this is nothing but Raiders podcast, baby. Nothing but Raiders podcast. So let's get into Neil Farrell, the nose tackle / defensive tackle from LSU. The guy is 6'4", 330 pounds, 5.1 in the 40-yard dash, 21.5 vertical jump, and in the 3-cone drill, he had an 8.1. So when it comes to Neil Farrell, he's a 4-star recruit out of Mobile, Alabama. He played 5 games off the bench as a true freshman in 2017, only having 5 tackles in his freshman year. And he had 10 contests as a key reserve in 2018 with 23 tackles, 4 for loss, and 1.5 sacks. Now, Farrell started 3 games in 2019. He started 3 games for the 2019 national champions for 46 tackles, 7 for loss, 3 sacks, and 15 games played. Farrell initially opted out in the 2020 season due to COVID-19 concerns, but returned in September to start 6 of the 10 contests for the Tigers, which was 25 tackles, 2.5 for a loss with 1 sack. In his final season, Farrell recorded 45 tackles in 12 starts, a career high 9.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks before opting out the team's bowl game to prepare for the NFL draft. So, Neil Farrell, Defensive tackle out of LSU. I love defensive tackles out of the SEC. And they say his NFL comparison was DJ Reader. And DJ Reader is a good, he's a good comparison. So here's a little overview that we have for Neil Farrell. A nose tackle prospect with a well-earned reputation for making it hard for blockers to do their job in the run game. Farrell has seen personal maturity and development in his play that allow him consistently to bully opponents as a physical force in the middle in 2021. He did test poorly at the 2022 NFL Combine, but he will somewhat have a home base that can help him upgrade a leaky run defense, which the Las Vegas Raiders had. So Farrell is a 2-gap nose with a day 3 value. Now, Neil Farrell wasn't a day 3 value. I can say that much. I think he was a day 2 value, which we got him for. Hold on, y'all. Let me get a bottom of water. Hold on. So here's my thing. He has a day 3 value, and I like it. I really love this. I really love this pick. I really love this pick from Neil Farrell. How you pronounce his name? But we need a defensive tackle. And you add him with Bilal Nichols and Jonathan Hankins. You can't get mad at that. You can't get mad at this pick for Neil Farrell. So let's get into his weaknesses and his strengths when it comes to Neil Farrell. His weaknesses are he's only a run down player at the next level. He needs to convert bad weight to better weight. Tardy lateral movement gets him reach or seal on versus the zone. Pads get a little too tall on the move. Limit range and tackle radius. Tightness cause missed tackles in tight quarters. And bull rush is a little bit too gradual. Which those weaknesses are coachable. Which a lot of these weaknesses from these players that we got are very coachable. And I think Josh McDaniels is going to come in and have his coaches make it very coachable. No, I go over the weakness. You know what I'm saying? I'm going over the weaknesses and the strengths. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going over the strengths, because most of the stuff that these players have when they coming out of college, these stuff can be really coachable. It's not really bad weaknesses. There is very coachable weaknesses that can change and develop over the years. That's what I love about it. So here goes the strengths for Neil Farrell. His strengths are that he's very rugged football player in the trenches. He combines strength with skill to defeat the block. He's surprising snap quickness for his size. He comes off the ball with low pads and excellent leverage. Pure power lift, displace and toss interior blockers. He plants and roots and fights down blocks and double teams. Able to peekaboo for a running back as a 2-gapper, strong hands and twitchy upper body to shed, and clears interior rush edge with an extremely heavy slap. So you see that, and you see that his strengths outweigh his weaknesses. He has more strengths than weaknesses. But we have to address the weaknesses for the players, because you got to think about it. Most of these players is going to be coached up in these OTAs, in these mini camps, in these rookie camps, and then training camp, and then preseason. This stuff can, like, now we have an actual full season outside of COVID where we can have these guys come in early and get the work done. Start looking at film. Start looking at the scheme that Patrick Graham and Josh McDaniels want to do on the offense and the defense side of the ball. I'm saying to you, you can't get mad at this draft. So the first 3 picks I love. I didn't like to pick Dylan Parham at first. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I'll be completely honest. I was not a big fan of the pick at first, until I actually had to do my research on why we traded back. I understand they said it was for more draft picks. Completely understand it. But that draft pick that we got, we ended up trading that draft pick anyway. So, I mean, hey, it's fine by me, you know. It's fine by me. So, basically, is this. Yeah, he definitely would compete for snaps, Dominique 5. Spotlight, Ray Love, what's going on? Ray Love, what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. So, really do appreciate it. So, that Neil Farrell is another great pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the picks that the Raiders had in the first 3 rounds. But this next pick was one of my favorite picks. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to be completely honest with you right here, right now. Because I'm a Tennessee guy. So with the 5th round and the 175th overall, Las Vegas Raiders select Matthew Butler, defensive tackle from Tennessee. Once I do the picks, I'm going straight into UDFA. I'm going through the draft picks right now, but I'm going to go through UDFA. I'm definitely going to talk about them because I do want to get to know them a little bit more because I didn't do my research on UDFA yet, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's what's going to happen. So Matthew Butler, another defensive tackle that the Raiders took right after getting Neil Farrell in the 4th round with the 126th overall pick. We go to the 5th round with the 175th overall pick, and we get Matthew Butler from Tennessee. Now, I'm going to be completely biased because I am a Tennessee Vol fan. I love their sports. I always wanted to go there and play football or play basketball or do something at the University of Tennessee, but my grades just didn't let me do it. My grades just didn't let me do it at all. So, Matthew Butler, I'm trying to get into his scores right now. So, another defensive tackle. He's 6'4". He's 297. He ran a 5 and a 40-yard dash. He bench pressed 17. I don't know. It don't say the weight, but his vertical jump was 32. Broad jump was 112. His cone drill was 7.89 seconds. And his 20-yard shuttle was 4.81. Now, here goes Matthew Butler. Coming out of Gardner Senior High School in Raleigh, North Carolina, Butler was a 4-star recruit who was expected to make an impact for the Volunteers right away. He played in 8 games as a true freshman with 4 tackles, then came off the bench again in 9 contests in 2018 with 13 tackles and 1 for loss. Butler earned more playing time as a junior, starting 4 of the 13 games with 45 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2.5 sacks and 2 pass breakups. He started all 10 games in 2020 and posted 43 tackles, 3 of them for loss, and 2 sacks. In 2021, Butler set a career highs with 47 tackles, 8.5 for a loss, 5 sacks, and 13 contests on 12 starts. He also was named a second-team academic All-American by Sports Information Directors. So the guy is playing well. He does remind me of Quentin Jefferson. So the comparison, according to NFL, they say Brian Coward. I don't know who Brian Coward is. I don't see that NFL comparison because I don't know who that guy is. But here's a little thing about Matthew Butler. He's a defensive lineman who isn't a pure 1 gap or 2 gap, but he has enough playing strength and athleticism to operate in either capacity. Now, Butler plays more stoutly than his top heavy frame that might indicate, but he blends of a body control. He has grit. He allows them to reverse course against the block to sustain and get back into the play. He's not overly explosive upfield, but has enough edge rush and secondary effort to become an insurance for time to time when it comes to that. So, I mean, Butler could step into a rotational role early in his career before competing for a spot as a starting 3 technique in a 4-3 unit. Now, we don't even know what type of defense we're going to have with Patrick Graham. And the reason why I say that is because Patrick Graham plays almost every goddamn style of defense when it comes to 4-3, 5-2, 3-4, 3-3-5. You know, he plays so many different types of defenses. Whereas Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell is really going to set up the beat, because Neil Farrell can play a nose tackle in a 3-4, and you can put Matthew Butler in a 4-3 scheme, and both of them can dominate depending on what Patrick Graham wants to do. So this is a heck of a pick right here when it comes to it. So here comes the weaknesses of Matthew Butler. He lacks desire with grip in his lower body. He fails to make a much impact against Georgia mauling front, which is the offensive line. Balance can waver when his base narrows. Needs a better feel and take on against edge blocks. Lack of separation, length shows at the times. Average upfield burst to set the tone with his rush and needs to get to the counters more quickly. That is the weaknesses for Matthew Butler. That's the weaknesses. And then you have your strengths. And your strengths would be for him is to put an impressive tape together against Alabama, played with athletic movement and bend, he's capable to stack and shed versus in single blocks. Range motor will have him in action. Lateral quickness to capture edge and disrupt zone blocks. Maintain gap integrity with steady base through lateral engagements. Secondary effort makes him tough to sustain to finish for blockers. Athletic ability to create rush opportunities on a twist, changes into force anchor and then works on the edge, and rushes with body control and good change of direction. Like I said, a lot of these weaknesses are very, very, very coachable. That's just me. A lot of these stuff are very coachable. And that's what makes me, okay, I got a feeling where the Raiders are going to go when it comes to them, when it comes to what they want with their defensive line, what they want with their how they want their defense to get upfield. It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, absolutely, you can come in and do what Patrick Graham wants you to do. Basically. Matthew Butler, man, I love this pick. I really, really love this pick. I think this pick was very, very interesting. And knowing that I'm going to be a Tennessee bias because I love the University of Tennessee. We always get good players out of there. But this next pick right here, this other offensive lineman, which is Zierre Mumford with the 238th pick. Because mind you, we did not have a pick in the 6th round because we traded it. So Zierre Mumford, man. So this guy is really, really good. Zierre Mumford Jr. might be a starter. Him and Dylan Parham might take some spots this year. I'm sorry to say. They might take some spots this year. Y'all can say what y'all want. They going to take some spots this year. They're going to have some starting roles this year. It's going to be very interesting to watch. Very interesting to watch. So with me, Zierre Mumford, I'm waiting for his information to come up so we can talk about this, man. Because I love the quality of players that the Raiders got, even though that this is not the draft that we wanted, like Raider Honcho said, but it was the draft that we needed. It was the draft that we needed, and I'm going to get into that too. I'm definitely going to get into that. So, he's from Ohio State. He's 6'6", 328 pounds. He ran a 5.39 in a 40-yard dash, 22 vertical jump, and 104 broad jump. So, a little thing about Zierre Mumford. Mumford managed his bump inside to guard in 2021, but he moved back to tackle in his best interest. He is a limited athlete and scheme dependent on the run game. Coaches will freight over his lack of body control and footwork, but he has some upper body pop to work with each coach can get his hand placement corrected. Now, on his 2020 tape, he is usually the first one with his hands and has the ability to derail the rush and closes distance properly. He's heavy feet prevent fluid and change of direction sustained by mirroring, so matchup-based struggles are likely. He's a below-average run blocker who can look unorthodox in the pass protection, but he is a long and he understands how to use his limbs to make blocks. He'll eventually be a starting tackle with a guard flexibility. Bro. I know the Raiders was never going to. It's not about what I agree with Honcho when he said this is the draft that we needed, but it's not. But it wasn't a draft that we as content creators didn't want. But it wasn't needed. Yes, it was definitely needed. This was like, what's going on, match coverage? What's going on, bro? What's going on? It wasn't the draft that we wanted, but it's the draft that we needed when it comes to position. That's why I give the draft grade a draft grade. And be completely honest, I'm giving the draft grade an A-. But we're going to keep going through these players. I'm giving a draft grade an A- because of the Britton Brown pick. I think this would have been a complete A or A+ if we didn't get Britton Brown, the running back from UCLA, because we already picked up Zierre White. And then we pick up another running back in the 7th. So I'm like, I was not a big fan of it. I was not a big fan of Britton Brown. And we're going to get into it, but we're going to stay on Zierre Mumford because Zierre Mumford was a steal in this draft, in my opinion. I think it was a steal in this draft. So let's go to his weaknesses and his strengths when it comes to it. So his weaknesses for Zierre Mumford is that the waist bending and leaning to get him in trouble. It fails to bring feet within as a run blocker, needs a pop and a commitment to secure blocks, too slow laterally to make much of a difference as a zone blocker, plotting and erratic in a second level adjustments, literal slides and change of direction are labored, struggle with balance and recovery once beaten, sloppy footwork in pass sets and lead to some ugly losses, needs better accuracy and quicker resets with his hands. Most of this stuff, when it comes to weaknesses, can be very coachable. It'll be like some of these weaknesses that these linemen got or these players have is so coachable that they would not have that in the next couple of years. So that's why I'm not really too mad about these weaknesses, because he's a rookie. He's going to have to learn. He's going to have to develop. He's going to I just love it. I love it. I love the two offensive linemen. I love the two defensive linemen when you got Matthew Butler from Tennessee and you got Neil Farrell from LSU. Then Zierre White, then Dylan Parham. I think we addressed the trenches in this draft. We addressed the trenches in this draft, and we addressed the running back position in this draft. So basically, hey, I'm taking it. It's a long ass list of weaknesses, but he has a long list of strengths too. His strengths are this: 4-year starter, starting experience at left tackle and left guard, uses above average lengths and some effectiveness, recovers to re-engage through a heavy contact in the run game, has potential to move his man into single blocks, well-timed outside hands in pass protection, mains weight on the inside leg as a pass-setting tackle, above average upper body power that jots opponents, big hands for quick clinches against unimaginative rushers, and shows ability to redirect edge rushers in 2020. So it's almost about the same amount of weaknesses as just the same amount of strengths. So, like I said, most of these strengths and most of these weaknesses can be coached up. It's not something that you gotta you really gotta actually teach, or he has to rep it. I just think that the repetition will come in training camp and stuff like that. But I think it was going to be a learning curve for a lot of these players that have weaknesses and have strengths. So Josh McDaniels is a great coach. I think he brought in a great coaching staff that's going to come in and teach and then apply it to the football field. Truth from Spotlight. Some content creators wanted shenanigans, and that's the truth. It's not cool. That's a non-fan desire. People put themselves above the Raiders. Not me. I'm not putting myself above the Raiders. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I want to give y'all the actual analysis of what I see when it comes to weaknesses, and when it comes to weaknesses, it comes to strengths for each player. So speaking of the last pick in the NFL draft for the Las Vegas Raiders, funny thing about this, right? Trey Brown from UCLA, he was in my mock draft. If y'all watch my video from a couple weeks ago, Britton Brown was in my mock draft. I said that we were going to get at least one running back in this draft. And he was the one that I had in my mock draft. I didn't even have Zierre White. I was not expecting Zierre White to be a Raider. I was not expecting that. But he's a stud of a player. But I did not understand why we got him in the 7th round. They could give the Raiders a C minus a C plus all they want. Yeah, he might end up being the next great running back. Absolutely. I 100 agree with that. I'm trying to see his NFL draft profile. See if they got it. I'll see if I can find his draft profile real quick. Okay, here we go. So let's see what we can find on Britton Brown a little bit. Let's see if we can find his weaknesses and his because we're definitely going to have the call-in show in a little bit. We're going to have the call-in show a little bit because I do want to get into the undrafted free agents as well. I'm not going to go through the full list of each player. I am going to do player profiles as far as the video goes. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. So I don't see his draft profile. Interesting. I do not see his draft profile for Britton Brown. It's pretty interesting. I thought, NFL would have his they would have his stuff, but let me go to NFLDraftBuzz.com. Okay, so this is a little bit okay. They do have his weaknesses and stuff like that. Okay, so we found some stuff on Trey Brown, running back from UCLA. So what I found here was this. What's good, Spotlight? My draft grade was a strong B. Salute to the Raider Nation. What's going on, Angel Neverett, retired U.S. Navy? What's going on? I agree that was a head scratcher to me, but because the stable of backs we have just had the skill set alone, he will be a 4th RB4 IMO. Okay. All right, so let's get strictly into what we're asking for here. So Trey Brown, he's 6'1", he's 205 pounds. His 40 time was a 4.69, so that's pretty slow. So what happened was, let's get to it. So he was the 250th pick in the 7th round. So he does have some weaknesses and strengths. So let's get into what he has here. They really don't have an overview of him. They really don't have a true overview of him, but here is his weaknesses for Trey Brown. His weaknesses are he does not always read blocks behind pulling guards, may not be big enough to move piles at the next level. He has a tendency to bury his head too soon. Lacks true burst through the hole and elite speed to break away or get the corner against NFL defenses. Tall, uptight runner who lacks great power as a runner, not quick twitch, athlete. He's a forced gear. He gears down a bit too much. Not very loose throughout his frame. Looks tight redirecting. Will dance and leave his feet instead of taking it. What's there. I don't like saying at all, but may not break away from the NFL defenders, has fumbling issues, and doesn't shift the ball outside of his arm. Offers little pass protection and poor technique and cut blocking, fails to do more than slow down blitzers by laying down in front of them. I'm not liking this pick at all from those weaknesses. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'm not a big fan of it. Let's get to his strengths though. Let's get to his strengths. Not truly explosive, but possesses enough speed to beat linebackers to the edge. Does not possesses a top breakaway speed. Even though that he's rarely caught from behind. Compact build with a thick upper body and leg strength, runs hard with balance, and is a patient runner who makes energetic cuts to make up for his modest explosiveness. Shows surprising bursts to beat linebackers to the edge, can plant his foot in the ground and can explode, showing better straight line speed than expected. It's more weaknesses and strengths for him. I don't think he won't make. I think he makes the practice squad. I just don't think he makes the team. It's not nitpicking. It's not a solid. He's a solid back. Don't get me wrong, but this is one thing in his weaknesses that really gets me. It's coachable. His weaknesses is coachable. I think he's a practice squad player. I don't think he makes the 53-man roster because there's too many running backs that we have on our roster right now, from Josh Jacobs to Kenyon Drake to Amir Abdullah, Brandon Bolden. Then we just got Zierre White, and then we got him. I think he probably, if he makes the 53-man roster, and then Trey Regis, you still have Trey Regis there. So a Harvey Williams clone. I don't. 7 rounders rarely make the 53-man roster. It's a lot of 7 rounders in the Raiders that make the 53-man roster. But you know what? I say he's a practice squad player. We got to see what he does. When he gets to mini camp, he gets to OTAs, he gets to training camp, it gets to the preseason. Let's see what these guys can do. Because Britton Brown, I did have him in my mock draft. I was not expecting him to get him at the 7th round pick at all. I thought we was going to get him between 6th and 7th round. In my opinion, I was not expecting to get him in the 7th round. I think 7th round we could have went linebacker there or went corner, because we did not go linebacker or corner in this draft, which those two positions was very deep in this draft. But he could be more of a goal line running back, just like Jonathan said there. Brown is a good back, very patient to find a hole. His burst comes late, but I agree, practice squad running back. Yes, he's a practice squad running back. And sometimes he doesn't wait for the play to develop, and that's the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I have with him. So, when it comes to those picks, man, I still give the Raiders an A-, because we had a lot of questions at the offensive line. We had a lot of questions at the defensive line. Didn't know what was going to happen with our defensive line, knowing that Trey Regis is going to be going with all these running backs. I don't think so. I think Trey Regis outplays Britton Brown. I think Trey Regis would make this roster before Britton Brown makes this roster. I don't think Amir Abdullah is going to make this roster. I just don't see that happening. I love the fact that we picked up Amir Abdullah, but the way that he's injury prone, I don't see Amir Abdullah or Britton Brown making this roster. I can see Amir Abdullah being a practice squad player with Britton Brown, but I think our running backs that we're going to have is Kenyon Drake. We're going to have 4 running backs and a fullback on a roster. I bet you we're going to have 4 running backs. It's going to be Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, Brandon Bolden, and Zierre White. That might be Zierre White. Trey Regis might make this roster too, though. Don't get it messed up. He might make this roster too. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. Very, very, very interesting to see how things work out. It might be. It might be because Amir Abdullah is not going to make this team. I don't think Amir Abdullah is going to make this team. I don't think Britton Brown. I'm telling you, if Trey Regis, if he shows out and he outplays Amir Abdullah and Britton Brown, he's going to make this roster some way. Because we got rid of Jalen Richard. I don't even think Jalen Richard even signed with anyone at this point. I don't even think that. I understand Amir Abdullah can kick, punt, and return, but he can't stay on the field, match coverage. That's my only problem with Amir Abdullah. He cannot stay on the field. That's the same issue I have with Josh Jacobs. He cannot stay on the field. Why do you think the Raiders gave up his 5th-year option? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta feel it like, okay, we got Amir Abdullah, but he's so injury prone. When the last time we saw Amir Abdullah 100% healthy in the year? We haven't. What, since his Minnesota Viking days? I don't know about Amir Abdullah. I just don't think he makes the roster. I know he's a vet. I know that he's a vet, and I know that he could be very explosive when we got him when he's healthy. But I think Zierre White replaced that. Exactly, King Savage. You have to give him a chance to play. You got to give Trey Regis a shot. And that's what the Raiders have not done last year. And I was very disappointed at Rich Bisaccia having him suit up to be on the sideline, not to show his talent. You brought him up to the 53-man roster not to play him? That's what pissed me off. That's what pissed me off, because there's been so many times last year that we brought Trey Regis up from the practice squad and y'all didn't even throw him out there in these games. That's what pissed me off about the Raiders last year. Y'all didn't give this man a shot in a regular season like that. He suited up and he was on the sideline. What's the point of bringing him up to the 53-man roster not to show his talent at the running back position where, Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs was banged up all year? I think Regis is still on the team, though. I haven't heard any news about them releasing him. I have not heard no news about it. So when it comes to the Raiders, you got to give this man a shot. At least let him compete. At least let him compete. So let's get into the undrafted free agents. Let's get into the undrafted free agents, and then I'm gonna open up the lines after we do the undrafted free agent signings. This is a pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I love this. I love the free agent signings that we got, because it seems like we addressed a lot of our needs at corner and at linebacker. And please don't say undrafted free agents don't make the team, because they do, because Trey Regis was one of them. Trey Regis was one of those cats, man, that was an undrafted free agent and made this roster. So you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that undrafted free agents can't make the roster. We see it all around the league that undrafted free agents can. Yeah, Andre James was an undrafted free agent, which I'm not a big fan of Andre James. So let's get into. Listen, I'm not going to talk about every single one because there's a lot of them, but the ones that we did pick was Zach Van Valkenburg, edge rush from Iowa. another great edge rusher that we had. Myron Tagovailoa Amosa, defensive lineman from Notre Dame. What a great pickup in an undrafted free agency. What a great pickup. What a great pickup. Chase Garbers, a quarterback from Cal. Kind of shocking that we went out and got a quarterback, but hey, he's going to come in and compete and try to make this roster, but I don't see him making this roster. Sam Webb, another underrated corner from Missouri Western, another underrated corner that I thought that was going to get drafted in this year's draft, and he went as an undrafted free agency. So we kind of address the linebackers and the corners when it comes to the undrafted free agents. You got Ben Olasindi, the tackle from Utah. We got more depth at the tackle position. That's going to be a very interesting thing to look at when you go to training camp. Definitely, I will be trying to, if they do have live coverage of the Raiders training camp, I would definitely be live for that. You don't want to miss that. Definitely don't want to miss that. We got Isaiah Polamalu, which is they saying is Troy Polamalu's cousin or whatever, or nephew or whatever. Safety from USC. I heard he was a dog. I heard big things about him. He was a good addition. I do like the guy. I didn't watch a lot of USC work, but I'm definitely going to do my research on a lot of these undrafted free agents because they were, I didn't really get a chance to. And for all the people that did not know, the reason why I did not go live yesterday, my uncle passed away. My great uncle passed away on Sunday morning. So with that being said, I was not able to go live yesterday, but I'm here today to do nothing but Raiders content. And I'm going to open up the phone lines once we talk more about these undrafted free agents. Let y'all voice be heard. And I'm going to let y'all call up to the show and that we're going to have some fun here. Definitely going to have some fun here. Darian Butler, linebacker from Arizona State. Darian Butler, linebacker from Arizona State. You cannot tell me this ain't a coincidence, right? You can't tell me this ain't a coincidence, right? And I'm going to tell you why this is a coincidence. Because who is our linebacker coach? Huh? Who is our linebacker coach? Somebody put it in the chat. I would love to know. Who did we sign as our linebacker coach? If I'm not mistaken, a former linebackers coach at Arizona State. And we end up getting Darian Butler from Arizona State as an undrafted free agent. Stud of a linebacker. He should have been drafted in the league. He should never went undrafted. I'm telling you this right now. The guy's a stud. He's a stud. Antonio Pierce, which he was a former linebacker in the NFL, and he was the Arizona State Sun Devil linebackers coach, and went out and got Darian Butler. Raiders, you knew what you was doing. Raiders, you knew what you was doing in that front office when y'all went and got Darian Butler. The guy should have been drafted. He should have been drafted. Even if he didn't go to the Las Vegas Raiders, he should have been drafted, bruh. He should have been drafted. But shout out to the 43 in the chat. Really do appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The goal to 7,500 subscribers. Let's get there. We at 73 right now. Let's run them thumbs up. Let's get to 7,500 subscribers. And this is your first time ever being at the Spotlight Raiders Talk YouTube page. We do suggest that y'all subscribe, hit the bell button, and get the latest news in all Raiders news, ladies and gentlemen. But Darian Butler was a steal for me in the undrafted free agency. It definitely was a steal. So Cole Fordingham, tight end from Utah. Justin Hall, wide receiver from Ball State. Trey Turner, another wide receiver, another stud from Virginia Tech. Bryce Cosby, safety from another Ball State. And Quinterio Cole, safety from Louisville. We did very good in this draft. and we picked up some quality players in undrafted free agency. Quality players. I think the Raiders did a hell of a job. It was a very, very busy day for them. And I'm proud the way this team in a way is being directed. I'm loving it. I'm loving every bit of it. So, I mean, how y'all feel about this? Put it in the chat right now. What is your grade overall? What is your grade overall before the draft? I mean, what is y'all grade overall for the draft and undrafted free agents? Yeah, we could have had Nakobe Dean. That's why I think the Raiders, traded back. Honestly. Which one of these UDFA players do you lock in to make the roster this year? Darian Butler. I think Darian Butler makes the roster. I really think Darian Butler makes the roster. So, speaking of that, Vinny Thomas, I actually saw a rumor about that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it is. Don't get me the line. Let me go to my Twitter real quick. So, according to NFL rumors, right? If y'all follow NFL rumors on Twitter, I need y'all to do that. He puts out there that let's go to it. Let's see if he still have it up here. I'm not too sure if it was up here or not. I know he put it up here not too long ago about James Bradberry being released. Yes. Giants are expected to release James Bradberry if a trade cannot be reached. New York will save $10 million in cap space. So James Bradberry is a possibly. Let me go to his thing. Darian. You know what? When it comes to linebackers, I really don't care about height anymore. As long as you play the game of football correctly, to me, it's fine. I think height doesn't mean a thing anymore as a linebacker. The way the NFL is set up, I don't think your height means anything when it comes to that. But James Bradberry is probably expected to be released if they cannot get a trade. So Raiders, go after him. What are you waiting for? Please tell me. Because right now, Trayvon Mullen, he's 6 foot. Darian Butler is 6 foot. What's going on, Captain Raider? Captain Raider goes, Key in the building. What's going on? But Darian Butler is 6 foot. He's 221. I just think he could be a little bit undersized, but we've seen a lot of undersized linebackers succeed in this league. We see a lot of undersized corners succeed in this league. We see a lot of undersized players, no matter what position you are, succeed in this league. What about covering tight ends like Gronk, Kelsey, and Waller? Well, he won't be covering Waller as much because he'd be on the same team as Waller. And I think we're not done going to get linebackers in free agency. I don't think we're done that. I think we can still go out and get Calvin Noy in free agency. I still think we could go get James Bradberry at the corner position if he's released. We still have some veteran linebackers out there that can still go get, that can cover. So I don't see the issue of keep putting Darian Butler on the roster, and we could bring veterans to come help him. That's all he really needs. All he needs is veterans. Once you have the vets under your wing, that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you need those veterans. You need those veterans. And I'm going to be completely honest. And I think those veterans is going to come in. If we got to get a Cal Villeneuve or go get a veteran linebacker, that's all you need. And then, you know, Diablo is going to be a young corner. I mean, a young linebacker. So you just never know. You just don't never know. Let me see. Hold up. Give me 1 second here. So I'm about to open up the phone lines, y'all. I'm about to open up the phone lines since we at the final part of our show today. So we definitely about to open up the phone lines. So come on now. All right. So just give me 1 second here, y'all. I'm just setting it up for us to call into the show, for y'all to call in and give y'all opinions. I'm gonna let y'all talk. It's not really much for me. I'm gonna be completely honest. Be completely honest. All right, so that is connected. I should have had this prepared, but hey, I didn't oh shit. I didn't prepare for it. I really didn't prepare for it at all. So just give me 1 second while I plug these headphones in so we could get this call-in show rocking and we can have our show for the end of the day. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that being said, if you want to call up to the show and you want to be a part of the Spotlight Raiders Talk and you want your voice to be heard, make sure you call the number right here, which is 267-354-0943. Make sure you call up to the show, 267-354-0943. Let your voice be heard on the Spotlight Raiders Talk. You know, so if y'all want your voices to be heard and y'all want to talk y'all stuff, man, come on up. Come on up. Give me a call. You know, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm ready to hear what y'all have to say. And you know, let's get it. Our roster is pretty much set. Yeah, our roster, Raider Kojo, our roster is pretty much set. Absolutely. Our roster is pretty much set. But mind you, listen, undrafted free agents, you have these draft picks, which I thought they were pretty solid. I just really like our offseason. I really love the Raiders offseason. I really do. We went out and got Devontae Adams. You know, we didn't go out and get another receiver, another veteran receiver, but I don't think we will. We did bring in some receivers, but I mean, what else do we really need? I mean, Waller might be back to 100%. Then you might have, you know, Mac Hollins. We don't know what he's going to do. DeMarcus Robinson. We don't know what he's going to do. So when it comes down to it, I think Devontae Adams helps out everybody else get open. The Brian Edwards, the Hunter Renfrows. You know what I'm saying? So, and we got 2 wide receivers as an undrafted free agent. So that's another thing too. But like I said before, man, if y'all do want to call up to the show and you want to talk to your boy from the Spotlight Raiders Talk, y'all got it 267-354-0943. It's all love. It's all love. I'm definitely trying to bring the calls back every time I do a show, but I'm trying to do the calls every call-in show every Monday instead of every Tuesday, because now on this show I am going to have guests of the Raider podcasters and stuff like that. So basically that's what it is. 267-354-0943 if you want to call up to the show. Come on and call up to the show. They said that Straight Turner is a baller. You mean Trey Turner? All right, so here we go. All right, give me 1 second here, my guy. Thank you for calling the Spotlight Raiders Talk and calling Nothing But Raiders Podcast Episode 2. Who is this and where you calling from?
This Coach Dante.
This guy will call up to the show, man. What's up, my brother? What's going on with you?
Man, how you doing, Coach, man? How you doing today?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Was able to do this podcast and, break down my Raiders draft, man, because I can't talk about the way the Houston Texans drafted because y'all had one hell of a draft, man. The Eagles had one heck of a draft, but the Raiders is not what the fans wanted, but it was what the team needed, and that's what I think Josh McDaniels and Ziegler did, man.
Yep. Like the Texans, this was the happiest fan base that we ever had. One heck of a draft, getting 5 playmakers, but I like the Raiders move. Zierre White is one of the most favorite running backs that I kind of cover a little bit. Everybody gotta realize the guy, Georgia, every year is running back by committee every year. So it's no number one back in that system. And he's perfect for Josh McDaniels' system because he loves running backs that likes to run up out the backfield, catch passes up out of the backfield. That's pretty much his style. And now that you guys don't know about if Josh Jacobs may not be the future running back for this team, and Regis as well is a question mark on him as well. So, I mean, getting Brendan Brown, who I watched in UCLA, is a pretty good running back as well. I think you got 2 good running backs, man. I especially think Zierre White is going to be a good piece for you guys, and Josh McDaniels is going to use him to his best ability.
Now, the only thing I could probably disagree with you there, Dante, I do like Brendan Brown from UCLA. I think he's a great talent. But the fact that we went out and got Zierre White, I think the Raiders could have went a different position instead of going to get a second running back, knowing that we picked up Brandon Bowen in free agency. We picked up Amir Abdullah in free agency with a Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, and now you add Zierre White and Brendan Brown. That is a loaded running back, and then Trey Reagan's on top of that. So, and my question to you is this. Is Brendan Brown making this roster with all these running backs? Because I don't think he is.
It's a possibility. I'm not going to say it's a long shot. I mean, Regis hasn't got a lot of playing time. Amir Abdullah can't stay on the field. I mean, he can be more of a special team guy, but again, he can't stay on the field. So again, that's 2 running backs right there. You got Kenyon Drake is out. You got Josh Jacobs, who's gonna be the running back this year. I believe he's gonna split carries between him and Zierre White. But Trey Regis and you got Jalen Richard too. I think he walked early. I think he walked this year as well. So I can see him shocking some people and making this team. I can see him shocking. It may not be probably in the run game, but probably making it somewhere else. Okay, being on the practice squad. I can see him kind of like being on the practice squad as a running back being held in case someone gets hurt or something. Because I mean, again, Trey Regis and Kenyon Drake is gone, and Trey Regis. And the Raiders really don't use them as too much. They really don't use them as a lot. So I can see it as a possibility, actually, him being on a practice squad sometime in this season.
Yeah, I could definitely see him making the practice squad. I could see that happening just in case, God forbid, if Jacobs get hurt and he has to go on IR or Kenyon Drake is not 100% ready to come back and be ready by week 1. It's a few things that could turn out that Brendan Brown is going to be a practice squad player. Me personally, people can say what they want, but I think Amir Abdullah is going to be a practice squad player because he can't stay healthy his whole career.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out either. I think he'll be, if he does make this roster, he's just going to be strictly special teams. I think both of them will be strictly special teams. I think we keep 4 running backs on this roster, and that's Keon, Zierre, Josh, and Trey Regis. They are my 4 that they keep on this roster.
Yeah, I like that 4, and I think Zierre White is gonna shock a lot of Raiders fans, man, and be a good talent to this team, man. I really like him. I mean, against Alabama. He had a 66. I think he had one of. I think that was James Cook. But like I said again, he was a part of probably one of the best running back duo tandems in James Cook and him himself. Georgia's running back by committee every year, and don't worry about the 750 yards. That's running back by committee with James Cook. You got to. They always do that every single season. You had Sony Michel and Nick Chubb in the same boat. They always did running back by committee. You had Todd Gurley. And I forgot the other guy that was carrying it. Todd Gurley and Nick Chubb. You had zose two together. So Zierre White is going to be the guy.
Actually, it was Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, and Sony Michel. I think Sony Michel was a freshman when Todd Gurley was on his way out.
Yep, and they also had Elijah Holyfield as well, a part of that running back room as well. So, like, they always running back by committee each and every year. There's no really long back in the backfield, but I think Zierre White, it could be a 3-down back at some point if Jacobs doesn't pan out. I think he could be that next guy that can really actually step up and be a 3-down back in the backfield. And then Devontae Adams, man, the icing on the cake, man. I just think, like I say, the best receiver in football is going to open up a lot of those wide receivers. Is going to give them a lot of the wide receivers an opportunity in the passing game and Derek Carr this year, man. I really like this Raiders team, and this is the first time you can really say I can see something good in the Las Vegas Raiders this year.
That's going to be interesting, man. So now, for people that don't know, if you just coming into the chat, y'all heard about Trayvon Mullen, right? Trayvon Mullen is getting surgery today. We don't know what the surgery is, but he did post on his Instagram that he's getting surgery. And the rumors hearing about James Bradbury coming out and possibly being released or being if a trade does not work out. Now that we hear about this news about Trayvon Mullen, do you think it's time to go after James Bradbury since Tyrann Mathieu and Stephon Gilmore is off the board when it comes to free agency? Does that make James Bradbury the top corner to go get right now in free agency if a corner needed, especially for the Las Vegas Raiders at this moment?
Oh, no doubt. That's not even a question. He's one of the best available corners. And don't forget it, Philadelphia Eagles do need a corner as well. They hurt in the secondary, but again, that would be a nice fit for the Las Vegas Raiders. I think he comes in right away. It's probably almost the number one corner on the Raiders, on the Las Vegas Raiders secondary, but it's a little question mark I got on James Bradbury. Is he a man-to-man corner, or is he more of a zone coverage type corner? When he was in Carolina, I thought he did very, very well in man-to-man coverage, so I think he can play a little bit of a man-to-man, but that's one question you got to answer. If you're James Bradbury, if you watch James Bradbury play, he didn't have a good season last year. He kind of fell off a little bit, but I really take my chances him getting back to his Carolina days. But I think no doubt he's the number one. He will come in right away and kind of produce right away. I have no doubt him and Rockin' Finn. I have no doubt about that. That's the best corner out there when he's released. That's no question.
Absolutely. And if he does come back to Las Vegas Raiders, he teams up with Patrick Graham, which the defensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders now, which left the New York Giants to come the defensive coordinator with Josh McDaniels and his coaching staff. And I think that, I think Patrick Graham could get the best out of James Bradbury here. Because now, if you really think about that defense with the Giants, who was their top corner? He was the top corner, but now we got young corners that Rock Ya-Sin that's just as talented. We just revamped this defensive backfield. We still got Trayvon Merrick at safety. Jonathan Abel could come down and play that, that safety that's going to tackle. So it's going to be a lot of moving. It's going to be a lot of moving things that's going to happen with the Las Vegas Raiders. So, knowing that
I think one more. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it, man. You got it.
Yeah. I think Patrick Graham is a very good hire. He blitzed 50% of the time in in New York. I thought the defense was competitive. The offense was just bad. But again, I like Jonathan Abrams. The only thing he's just bad at pass coverage and he can't stay on the field. That guy reminds me of a small little linebacker, someone that can come up and hit. Now, as we all know, his coverage skills ain't good. But I mean, I like that guy playing in the box a lot. I like him playing in the box a lot because his willingness to tackle.
Right. Absolutely. And Cake Vibe says Bradbury comes in with having Graham here. I think he comes in if Patrick Graham, if they do release him, I think Patrick Graham is going to give him a call and try to see if we could get him on a contract. But the thing about it is, though, the Raiders don't open up $20 million until June 1st, which is next month. So I don't know what team right now that has the top salary cap to go get him, but I know the Raiders don't really have much money to spend at this moment. So now that I know that you're here, Dante, saying that you do your path to the draft on the Spotlight Sports Network. Give us your personal, not because you know me on a personal level and I'm a Raiders fan. From your analyst and from your research, what is your grade for this draft for the Las Vegas Raiders?
For the Las Vegas Raiders, to be honest, I'm gonna give it a B because I'm gonna give it a B. I mean, I think you should have got Dylan. You should have got Dylan Parham. You should have stayed to get Dylan Parham. I think Dylan Parham still would have been there when you guys selected. I don't think nobody was jumping to get Dylan Parham. I like Matthew Butler a lot. I like him a lot. I like Zierre White. I think Zierre White is going to be a dog. Britton Brown, he's going to be probably a practice squad guy at best. At best, he's going to be a practice squad guy. But, I mean, I like the way you guys stacked up on the interior offensive line, on the offensive tackles, something that you guys kind of needed. But I'm going to give it a B. I'm going to give it a flat out B because, I mean, like I said, again, I think y'all still got some good value in the draft with guys like Matthew Butler and Zierre White. That's not a bad choice. But, again, man, like I said, I give it a B. I give it a solid B. I think really this draft is so deep. I don't think nobody really had a bad draft, actually. I think the draft was so deep. Everybody got talent everywhere. I just really think no team actually had a bad draft. There's no D's, C's, or F's. Everybody filled it up a need, and the Raiders filled it up that tackle position. And I really like that running back, Zierre White. And Britton Brown is just basically going to be a practice squad type player a little bit. And then, like I say again, I was really hoping the Raiders could come up on someone like a Kellen Dyche or something like that, or a Brandon Smith, or another linebacker like a Brandon Smith.
That's what you saw it. You saw it on live, bro. Man. You saw it on live, bro. You know I wanted Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith was a stud, man. Good, man. Oh,
he's
man.
His height is good. His height. I mean, him and Nick Bonito, their height scares a lot of people. But again, those guys are linebackers that can go sideline from sideline. You need linebackers like that can go sideline from sideline and coverage linebackers. And as soon as they three came up, Brandon Smith went off the board. He went off the board. I really liked Brandon Smith, and I was hoping someone like the Raiders can come up and get a Brandon Smith or Nick Bonito or something like that.
Yeah, because the corner, even though we got our interior defensive line and interior offensive lineman, I thought that we was going to go linebacker and corner, and get at least one running back, because we did talk about it on my live stream with Real Time Raiders, and we said we was going to get a linebacker in the later rounds, and we ended up getting two. I think the Britton Brown pick could have been a linebacker there, even though it was the best linebacker available. We could have picked a linebacker there instead of another running back, but hey, we are just here to give our own analysis of the draft overall. So Raider Casper put in the chat, it says Panthers, Browns, Dolphins, Texans, Saints are the two top 5 in cap space, followed by the Chargers and the Chiefs. Chargers and Chiefs, you better not go after James Bradbury. I'm sorry that right now. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't do it. Because if you do it, I'm going to be pissed as a Raiders fan, and the Raiders fans don't want me to be pissed. I don't mind if he goes to the Panthers, Browns, Dolphins, Texans, Saints. I don't care about that. But if he goes to the Chargers or the Chiefs, that's a big issue.
Well, coach, y'all got Roger Teamer. Y'all got those guys.
Yeah, we still got Roger Teamer, but I mean, Roger Teamer's more like a safety than a corner. So Kevin Wayne says we got undrafted free agent as a linebacker, which we do. But I feel like Brandon Smith was better than the linebackers that we got in undrafted free agency. I'm just saying.
You said undrafted safety like a linebacker.
No, I'm saying we talking about he said that we got undrafted free agent linebackers. I said, yeah, we do, but I rather would have got Brandon Smith right there.
I like the Brandon Smith.
If he was there in the 7th round, I think the Raiders probably would have got him in the 7th round, but he didn't fall in the 7th round. So I don't know if they liked the linebackers that was available at that time, and they just went with another running back. But we did get a few linebackers, and Darian Butler from Arizona State I understand he's only 6 foot. I could completely understand. I know he's short, but there's been a lot of undersized linebackers that's successful in the NFL. So
man, I'm telling you, them linebackers, as long as you have a linebacker that can cover and run sideline from sideline, doesn't matter how short and how much height they is, as long as they can go sideline for sideline and cover somebody. I mean, hey, I live with that. I'll take it.
Right, and they said that about Nakobe Dean as well. They said that about Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean was really he's small, he's short, but I don't think height matters in my opinion. The way the game played now, I don't think height is a diff. I don't think height differs. I really don't. If you can run side out of sideline and you could cover those flats, I don't think height matters in my opinion. I just don't think so.
No, not at linebacker. I don't think it will work. I don't think it matters at linebacker. Now, at the cornerback position, I see where you can be scared that height matters at the cornerback position, but linebacker, I don't think height should matter at linebacker.
Right. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So, shout out to the Houston Texans, man. They had one hell of a draft. Shout out to the Houston Texans, man. Y'all had like some of the most draft picks in the draft this past week. Philadelphia Eagles had a good draft. I have to shout out every team. I don't really care for if any team besides Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers had a great draft.
Yeah, man. I ain't never seen Houston fans this happy, man. But like, imagine just walking out of the draft with 5 playmakers on 5 legit playmakers and a running back like Damian Pierce from Florida, who killed it, or Jalen Petrie at safety, Christian Harris from Alabama, who runs a sub-4.4 speed and fast, getting a Derek Stingley Jr., the best corner in the draft. And, I like what Lovie Smith did, man. Lovie Smith and Nick Caserio, I like the trust pattern that them two got, the connection that them two got, and they just hit the nail right on the head, man.
Absolutely. But thank you, Dante, for calling in, getting your insight on the draft. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Coach Dante, man. Y'all see it, man. The guy has great breakdowns, great analysis, great live streams, great play-by-plays. And, he comes up here and do the Raiders play-by-plays with me during the regular season. I know y'all seen him during the regular season on the play-by-play and reactions. So make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to Coach Dante, especially if you like a little bit of 2K live streams as well. He does a little bit of 2K, a little bit of MLB, the show. So make sure y'all go check him out, man. And Dante, we'll definitely chop it up, bro. We definitely will. More shows to come. We'll definitely get some things working. But I appreciate you calling in, bro.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'll be in the chat, Coach.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, man. Thank you.
And that was my boy, Coach Dante, from the Spotlight Sports Network, definitely giving a call up to the show. If y'all do want to call up to the show and talk that Raiders talk, the lines is open right now, ladies and gentlemen. The lines will be open in the next 20 minutes. I will be ending this show at 6:30, so 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. So please, if you want to have your voice be heard and you want to talk Raiders football or anything football related, make sure you call the number 267-354-0943. Dante got my respect. The only Astros fans that can get me subscribed. See, you see that, Dante? You see that? You see that, man? Listen, Dante's a passionate Astros fan, man. He's a passionate Astros fan. What's going on, Renee? Young dude, Gonzalez, Raider Casper, thanks for tuning in. Leon Johnson, Kevin Wayne, Alice, I think it's Alice. I said that. If I said that mistake, Robert Penna. Thank y'all for being all the 34 that's in the chat. I know it's not many people because I know a lot of people probably live on their YouTube channels. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to keep rocking. We're going to keep doing nothing but Raiders. And episode 3 is going to be interesting because I'm going to have a very, very special guest for episode 3 to talk about the draft, to talk about everything that's been going on, man. Everything that's been going on in the Raiders offseason with Devontae Adams and what we did in the draft, what we did in free agency, with Trayvon Mullen, Derek Carr's contract. All that stuff is going to be talked about in episode 3 with the special guest that I'm having. I'm so excited for next week's show. So excited for next week's show. But I'm waiting for y'all to call in 267-354-0943 if you want to call up to the show. And I'm gonna do this every Monday. These shows is going to be every Monday. The call-in shows, not the Nothing But Raiders podcast, but the call-in shows is going to be every single Monday, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to do, man. And these lines is going to stay open. I might not keep it open to 6:30 if nobody calls up. I might end the podcast shortly. But Kevin Wayne says Mullen's surgery today is unfortunate for him. It's very unfortunate because I want that man to be healthy. And I've been saying, we got to get rid of Trayvon Mullen. We got to get Trayvon Mullen. We got to get rid of him because of his lack of, not being on the field. When he's on the field, he is a bit handsy. Don't get me wrong. He is a bit handsy. But at the same time, hey, it is what it is. It happens. Freddie Raider, what's going on, man? What's going on, Freddie Raider 661? Thank you for tuning into the chat, man. We really do appreciate your love and the support coming up here, man. And I'm going to try to get y'all a video out every day, breaking down these player profiles or giving y'all some news on what the Raiders can do and stuff of that nature. But we just here to talk Raiders football. I'm not here to talk about nothing else. I'm not here to talk about what happened over the weekend because, I had a struggle, hearing about my uncle passed, so it was tough. That's why I didn't do Reaction Monday yesterday because that was on my mind and trying to recover and get myself together, man. Why didn't he do that at the end of the season? I don't know. The thing about it is Leon Johnson, he said things was out of his control. I don't think it's a foot or a toe injury. I don't think it's that. I think it's a little bit more severe. And I think the doctors told him that he probably needed surgery on something and he don't know if he's going to be around. So you got to think of the timing too, because sometimes surgery dates, like you can have a surgery date and that surgery date could be waiting for a long time. So I don't think it was, in my opinion, I don't think it was his fault, whatever type of surgery that he's getting. He said it was out of his control. So if it's like an emergency surgery or something of that nature, hey, I mean, we just wish him the best for Trayvon Mullen, man. We can wish him the best. Yo, hey, bro, do you think we keep Jacobs after drafting Zierre White? Absolutely. I think so. But I think Zierre White is coming for that starting job. That's just me. I think he's coming for that starting job if Josh Jacobs doesn't show up, which I think Josh Jacobs will show up if he's 100% healthy during the year. And now I think it takes a lot off of Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake bringing in Zierre White. I think you see less carries from Josh Jacobs. I really think you see less carries from Josh Jacobs this year. That's just my opinion. What it do, Spotlight? Sending my condolences. Much love to you and your family, my brother. Thank you, Real Time Raiders. Really do appreciate that, brother. I really do appreciate that, man. That's why I wish I could have did the call-in show yesterday, but I was not able to. I just could not have the strength to do it, and I had to be there for my pops and everything of that nature. So, like, yeah, I just couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do it. So Casper says COVID rules were different at the end of the season and they are now. Knee surgery was postponed for 6 months. You see what I'm saying? So it happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens that way. So when it comes down to it. But if y'all do want to call up to the show, man, make sure y'all call up to the show. 267-354-0943. Make sure y'all call up to the show. Kane Town Raider. What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning into the show. We really do appreciate you tuning in, bro. Salute, salute, salute. How many games would Mullen miss? Will he come back and have his starting spot? I don't know. I don't know. The surgery was today, Leon. The surgery was today. So we don't know the time frame. We don't know what type of surgery it is. We don't know at this moment. So if you look at Las Vegas Raiders Network, which is Sanjit T YouTube channel, he did put out a video talking about it. I didn't get a chance to do it because once I heard the news, it was time for me to go live here. So basically, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, I think it's time that you bring in James Bradbury now, since Mullen might be out. You just don't know. That's the thing. You just don't know how long he's going to be out. So I'm going to give y'all like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes to call into the show. What type of surgery was it? We don't know. It's still disclosed. It's still disclosed. I know he posted it on his Instagram. He posted an Instagram story or Instagram post, but it was an Instagram story saying that he's about to have surgery, it's out of his control, and he's just letting God do his way. So we wish him whatever type of surgery he was. Hope it's a speedy recovery, and I hope that he could get back by the time the season starts. That's just me. But if he's not going to be back by the time the season starts, we got to go get James Bradbury. We got to go get him. We got to go get a veteran. I don't think it's a toe surgery. He didn't disclose it because he had his foot up there. I don't think it's a toe surgery. I think it's more severe, in my opinion. I think it's more severe. 28 days, 128 days until kickoff. Really? Only 128. I swore the way the years go by fast, it's going to be crazy. And I cannot wait till we see these guys in OTAs. I cannot wait to see these guys in minicamp. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Man, Raiders football is about to be lit this year. And it better not go by slow. It better not go by slow. Speedy recovery for Mullen? Absolutely. Speedy recovery on Twitter. Twitter. I'm sorry. I just got a text message. I'm sorry. Speedy recovery for Mullen. Absolutely. Yeah, if it's anything with his feet, it's going to be a while. Yes, I agree. I think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt in some sorts. It definitely is. B. Al, salute, y'all. But I got to do this one time, because I know we don't have no new members yet. If you do want to become a member of the Spotlight Raiders Talk, make sure you hit the join button right next to the subscribe button. And if you haven't not subscribed to the Las Vegas Raiders, which is right here, which is Spotlight Raiders Talk, I would suggest that you subscribe and hit the bell button and get the latest news and all Raiders news. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be live probably tomorrow. Don't know for sure though, but I'll make sure I'll keep y'all informed. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram at Spotlight Raiders Talk, and Spotlight Art and Talk on Twitter. If you do want to call into the show, 267-354-0943.
Touchdown Raiders!
So I'm giving y'all 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes until y'all want to call up to the show. I'm giving y'all to 55. To 625, basically. 625. Will you be at Raiders Donkey game here in Denver, Colorado? Don't know. I got to see what game that they're actually going to have on the East Coast. That's the thing. I want to see what type of games that they have on the East Coast. And I'm going to try to get to one West Coast game this season. I'm going to try to get the one West Coast game. I got to come see y'all out there. Spotlight has to make his move out there. So salute to Raider Robert, but hey, man, facts. Salute to Raider Robert, absolutely. Would you go and trade a late round pick for next year's draft for Bradbury, or just wait if they cut him? That is a good question, Jonathan. That is a hell of a question. Me personally, I feel like either one. If he's a free agent, go get him. If we get a late round pick for him and trade for him, I'll take it. Because right now, we don't know how long. We don't know the status of Trayvon Mullen. We don't know he's going to be ready by week 1. We just don't know. It's really question marks about that. So me personally, I think we cut if he gets cut, go get him in free agency. If we got to trade him to get some late round picks, do it. Do it. But I don't know what the Giants want back in return besides late round picks, because I really have this feeling that the Giants might want more than just late round picks. They probably going to want a player, player versus trade player for player, basically. Schedule comes out this week. Just wait till June. Facts. Just wait till June. But the thing is about this, Vega, if we wait till June and he gets released today, he's not going to be in free agency till June. That's the one thing that we see here. That's the one thing. That's what I'm saying. If he gets released right now, somebody's going to pick him up. He's not going to be there in June. I'm just going to be 100% honest. James Bradbury would not be a free agent in June. Once he gets cut, he's going to get picked up within a week. I'm calling it right now. So, Spot, what player or position do you think we're going to sign in free agency after we get more cap space after June 1st? Sorry to hear about your loss. My condolences for you and your family. Thank you so much, Renee, the young Rini, or I don't know how to pronounce your first name, the young dude Gonzalez. Thank you so much for the kind words and everything of that nature. But this is what I think the Raiders do. I still think if we could go get James Bradbury, we could go get him. We could go get Kyle Van Noy. We could go get a few people on the offensive defense. Go get Darrell Williams is still out there on the offensive line. So it's a few players that's still available, even at the wide receiver position. I'm gonna get to that, Kenny Raiders, because I really don't want Julio Jones. I don't want it. And people can say what they want, but I do not want Julio Jones. I just don't. Bernard said they might cut Bradbury, so I'll just wait and see. Facts. Kenny Raiders, no, I do not want a washed up Julio Jones. See, this is my thing with the Raiders, right, Kenny? And I love you, bro. I love you, bro. You know you're one of my loyal supporters on the Spotlight Raiders Talk. But you know, for a fact, bro, you know football. You know Julio don't got it no more. You know Julio don't got it no more. Let's just be real. Come on, bro. You know I love you, bro. You know I rock with you, Kenny. I rock with you. But I don't see Julio being a Las Vegas Raider, because I don't want to go back to the old days of Raiders where we go get washed up players and they just looking for a bag to come when they come to the Raiders. And I think that's what Julio's looking for. I think Julio still wants to get a bag and not play for the bare minimum and be old. I don't think he got enough juice. He was barely on the field for the Tennessee Titans last year. AJ Brown had a better year than Julio Jones, and AJ Brown was off the field. I think if you get Julio Jones, you give him a 1-year contract. Give him a prove it deal contract. Because I got a feeling that Julio Jones is one of those guys that you go out and get, and he's going to never see the field because of injuries. It's not because his inability to play. It's injuries. That's my issue with all of this. Dante Hightower, I like it. He's up there in age, like Chandler Jones, but I still want to get younger players than him though. But I like Dante Hightower. I don't even think he got 2 years. I don't even think he got 2 years left in him. I don't think so. Just wait till June 1st. We don't. No. Just wait till June 1st. We don't have money to pay him $12 million if the Giants cut him. The Raiders are not trading for him, and we don't have $24 million to pay. Wouldn't even pay $24 million for Bradbury. I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even trade for him. I wouldn't even do that. If it's costing us $12 million or $24 million to sign him, don't give me James Bradbury. That's a bit too much. And we only getting $20 million in cap space after June 1st. No. I'm good off Julio. Why don't you think no one has signed him yet? Facts. That's why I don't want him, because nobody signed him, and they know for a fact that this guy is injury prone. He played the most that he ever played with the Titans. What, like 8 games? He barely missed half of the season. Every week he was on the injury report. Every week Julio Jones was on the injury report. We do not need receivers that's going to stay on the injury report. We just can't. Man. We just can't. I can't. But I'm going to close the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to close the phone lines because nobody else did call up to the show. So it is what it is. We're going to keep these call-in shows more going, but it's all good. Julio gave 10 games last season, but he's still a threat. He's not no threat. He's not a threat anymore. He's not a threat no more. I'm sorry. He's washed. It's time for him to retire. I'm sorry. He played 10 games. Let's look at his stats in the 10 games that he played. Let's look at his stats. Let's look at his stats with the Tennessee Titans. Let's look at it. In the 10 games that he played. So, let's look at the stats. He's not a threat. And I'm going to tell you why he's not a threat. I'm going to tell you why he has a threat. Let me look at his stats. Let me go to ESPN. Let's look at his stats with the Tennessee Titans. He only had 31 receptions, 434 yards, and 1 touchdown in 10 games. That's a threat? It doesn't matter about his QB. It doesn't matter. See, this is my thing with Randy Savage, right? Randy Savage, you said, look at his QB. How many bad QBs did DeAndre Hopkins have and had better stats than Julio Jones? Let's talk about it. It's not the quarterback all the time. It's not. It's not the quarterback all the time. Because A.J. Brown had a better year with Tannehill than Julio did. We're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. We're not going to. Now let's look up A.J. Brown stats with Ryan Tannehill. Let's look up A.J. Brown stats. A.J. Brown had 63 receptions, 869 yards, and 5 touchdowns. In the year before that, he had 70 receptions, 1,075 yards, and 11 touchdowns under Ryan Tannehill. So you can't tell me it's just the quarterback. They had the same quarterback. So what's the difference? Now y'all about to bring the old. A.J. Brown is what? It doesn't matter. It's the same quarterback. It doesn't matter. It's the same quarterback. y'all gonna try to push me to be the old spotlight again because this is the crap I don't get. AJ Brown is younger, but Julio Jones is not a threat to nobody in this league no more. He's not. He's not. You're picking up Julio Jones on a bare minimum these days. And why you think nobody picked him up? Why you think nobody? What? Hold up. Can anybody? What was the date that free agency started? In March, right? We're in May. Free agency started in March. We're in May, about to go into June real soon, and nobody said nothing about Julio Jones expected to sign to a team because they know that his value ain't there no more. That's why. I would rather go get a freaking Emmanuel Sanders that's more productive than Julio Jones. If you want to keep it technical, so few receivers out there that I would pick over Julio Jones right now. That's in free agency. Even an injured Odell Beckham. I would pick over Julio Jones right now. That's a known fact. That is a known fact that I would do that. I will pick a injured Odell Beckham Jr. over Julio Jones. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Bryan Edwards has a breakout year. I wouldn't be surprised if Bryan Edwards had a breakout year. I would not be surprised. And I'm going to tell you why. Because what Josh McDaniel is trying to do, you brought in a number one, right? You brought in a number one receiver in Davante Adams. That's going to open up the field for everybody to get a piece. So you got to think of it logically, right? You can't double Davante Adams, but if you do, you leave Hunter Renfrow open. Hunter Renfrow gets doubled. You leave Davante Adams and Waller open. You double team Waller. Davante, Renfrow, or Bryan Edwards might have a chance to open it up with running backs in the backfield that can catch the football. See, that's the thing. We don't know. We don't need to go get those splash receivers anymore because we got the best receiver in the game. Demarcus Robinson might have a breakout year depending on how they play him in his offense. Thank you, Big Shane. Thank you. Thank you. Him not being signed at this point makes every point you're stating. If he was still a threat, someone would jump on him right away. Known fact. Known fact. Julio is not coming to the Raiders. Stop it. He does not fit what Josh McDaniels wants to do. I'm sorry. I just don't think he does. Don't get me wrong. I think the guy is talented. I'm not saying he's a scrub, but he's just, we don't need that here. He could probably go somewhere else. You just never know, man. I would not be surprised if Julio had another breakout year. That's what I'm saying about Julio with us. No. Bring in Julio here for what? Bring in Julio here for what? Just because we have two big body receivers? No. And then we just added two receivers in undrafted free agency? Come on. Let's just be realistic here, y'all. Bringing Julio in does not benefit us at all. It doesn't. And Trey Turner is a stud out of Virginia Tech that didn't even get drafted, and we got him as an undrafted free agent. The boy's a dog. We got a bunch of dogs in this draft and undrafted free agent. We got a bunch of people that's going to come in and work and not just be off their name, where they came from, where they was drafted at. They coming in to win. I just don't think we need another known receiver. We don't need another known. If you notice, A lot of the receivers that win Super Bowls or go to Super Bowls, they go to wide receivers by committee, and they have one good receiver, and they have a committee of receivers. Look at the Rams. We all know the number one. We all know for real, their number one receiver is Cooper Kupp. We know that. But you got a Van Jefferson that's going to help. You got a Odell that was there. That's going to help. Now you bring in an Allen Robinson that takes the top off of things and takes the double team away from Cooper Kupp. That's what you do in free agency. You do stuff to help people not get double teamed. Exactly, Kenny Ray. Exactly. He didn't have no good QB at Virginia Tech, but he still balled. Trey Turner's going to make the squad, Randy said. I don't know what you're thinking, bro. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're thinking, bro. It's a possibility that he might make this squad. We just got to see. We just got to see when OTAs, training camp, once we start getting the updated information. Ed Butt said, do we still have DeSean Jackson? He's pretty good, especially in one-on-one. Now he knows the playbook better. No. DeSean Jackson, he's thinking about retiring. I don't want DeSean Jackson back either. This playbook is going to be totally different from what he ran last year. I don't want DeSean Jackson either. He had his chance. I see why the Rams got rid of him. I see why the Rams did it. Because Odell fit their system better than what DeSean did. I'm sorry. And I love DeSean. DeSean Jackson has a hell of a career. I think he's one of those dynamic players that just don't have it no more. He's just one of them dynamic players that just don't have it no more, just looking for a team to make money. That's what I'm saying. Listen, let me tell you something, Randy Savage. Let me tell you something, Randy Savage. It's a lot of undrafted free agents that's in this league right now. It's probably your favorite receiver. Or they are 6th round, 7th round picks. Antonio, y'all can say whatever y'all want about Antonio Brown, but the guy was a 6th round pick, and he had some of the best years in the NFL before he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's just making a buck. Just because you're an undrafted free agent, it does not guarantee you will make the practice squad. That doesn't make sense. You got to make that make sense, bro. You got to make that make sense. Just because you're an undrafted free agent don't mean shit. You can still make a 53-man roster. Trey Reagan did it last year for us. What you mean? What's the odds of that? Bro, are you serious? You notice it's more players in the league that went in the later rounds instead of them being 1st and 2nd round picks. Do the ratio. Matter of fact, I got a better one for you. So, in the end, according to what I just looked up, there are nearly 500 undrafted players in the NFL right now. It's 500. 500 undrafted free agents in the NFL. That's on a starting team. Wes Walker was undrafted. Thank you. We talking about 6th and 7th rounders. Tom Brady was a 6th round pick. What are you talking about? Are you serious? I'm just going to be quiet. Because there's 500 undrafted free agents that's on an active roster right now. 500. 500 players that's in the NFL that's undrafted. So your dreams can come true if you put the work, if you put the effort in, bro. We've seen players, some Raiders players in the past was undrafted free agents. It made the squad. It's possible. Just because Trey Turner is an undrafted free agent and he's with the Raiders, if anybody know this channel since 2016, right? Tom Brady wasn't in his own. I'm not going to get it. I don't think you know football, bro. I'm not going to even get that hype about it. I don't think you know football, bro. When Tom Brady came to the league, he was one of the worst quarterbacks to come out the draft. He was the worst quarterbacks to come out the draft. Are you bugging? He was the slowest quarterback. He was the slowest quarterback. Are you bugging? You know how many quarterbacks went before Tom Brady? Bro, make it make sense. Bro, make it make sense. He was one of the worst quarterbacks he had a great career at Michigan, but he was the worst quarterbacks coming out the draft. He's the GOAT now, but he wasn't the GOAT when he first came in the NFL. Bro, he worked to be the GOAT. He didn't come in being a GOAT. He wasn't a first-round pick. He wasn't a number 1 overall pick. He was a 6th-round pick out of Michigan. Are you bugging? Please. Please. He's the GOAT now because he had a hell of a career. But before he got to that, I think 18 quarterbacks went before Tom Brady in the draft. 18. What I'm saying is never say never at the end of the day. It's never say never. And I've seen so many. Matter of fact, was Zierre White for the Raiders, an undrafted free agent, and made the 53-man roster? We have so many undrafted free agents that made this 53-man roster that was talented. It's possible. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Ed Butts. Nakobe Dean was a 3rd, and he's going to be a star. And I feel like the Raiders was going to get him at 86, but the Eagles got to him before that. I believe coaches will keep the best players for the final roster, and this next season is going to be a good one for us. Facts. Willie Brown, a Hall of Famer, undrafted free agent. You don't know. That's the thing. Just because you're an undrafted free agent does not mean shit, bro. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. A little bit off topic. We have an offensive line. We have a lot of offensive line. Who do you think makes the roster in week 1? And who is your starting 5? I can't say that right now, Jonathan. I can't say that right now, bro. I cannot say that right now due to the fact that we got to see how Trey Mumford pans out and see how Dylan Parham pans out. But the way they talk about Dylan Parham so much in the film that I looked at him, I would not be surprised if he takes Brandon Parker's spot. I would not be surprised. Nick Morrow, Andre James, both undrafted free agents. And Nick Morrow was a starting linebacker for the Raiders. Andre James was a starting center for the Raiders. What are we saying? But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But it was a great conversation, Randy Savage. I love the debate, bro. I love the debate. Jalen Richard, too. Another one. That was an undrafted free agent. 6 or 7 quarterbacks went before TB12. Okay. Alec Ingold, another undrafted free agent. So, I mean, it's a lot of them that we had on this roster that was undrafted free agents. And we love our undrafted free agents for the Las Vegas Raiders. We just do. It's just a friendly debate. It's nothing personal. Love you, Randy Savage. Love you, bro. Appreciate the support and everything. I just love talking sports in a passionate way. That's just me. That's just me. That's what Spotlight does. You know what I'm saying? I take it up 2 knocks. You know what I'm saying? It's all love and support, man. It's all love and support. But I was supposed to be off here 6:30. But I am getting off of here right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting off here. We didn't draft terrible this year, though, Randy Savage. We didn't draft terrible this year. We needed offensive linemen, which we went out and got. We needed defensive linemen. That's what we went out and got. Zierre White was a guy that's going to add more to the offense to make it more explosive. Bro, we didn't draft terrible. I gave our draft an A- because it's not what we wanted, it's what we needed. But you got to think of the regime too, Randy Savage. The regime for Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels and these guys, they looking for something different. Now, the regimes before with John Gruden and Mike Mayock, they kind of put us in a hole. If you think about it. I give it an A- because of the UCLA running back. I give it an A-. A- at best. Because I feel like we addressed it, the trenches, which we never do in the draft lately. So, I mean, it wasn't a lot of people in the chat today, but it's all good. It's all good. But let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. Thank y'all for tuning in to another show with Nothing But Raiders podcast, episode 2. I will have a special guest on next week. We'll talk more about the draft. We'll talk more about these players. More news will come out. We'll hear more about Trayvon Muller's surgery, everything of that nature, man. A-. Yeah, Ruggs and Arnett put us in the hole. That's a fact. But I feel like Mike Mayock and John Gruden made some contracts was kind of like, but thank y'all so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Nothing But Raiders podcast, episode 2. We will be back next Tuesday with this. Then every Monday we will have the Reaction Monday and everything of that nature. So if any news comes out in between there, I will make sure I have a video out for y'all, even if I'm at work or I'm home. I will make sure I get the videos out as fast as possible. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, man. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I love y'all, and peace, love, blessings, man. Shields up, Raider Nation. We in here. The draft is over. The season's about to start in 128 days. Let's go. I'm so excited.
Touchdown, Raiders!
And thank you to Coach Dante for calling into the show. Really do appreciate you, brother. But love y'all, man. Peace, love, blessings. I'm out of here. Built to last, baby. Let's go.
Try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and